Hey, Bitcoin and altcoin traders checking in on the market. It's been a while since we've checked in on YouTube, and a lot has happened. Certainly a very action-packed weekend in the chat room. I was more actively trading crypto than I have any weekend, anytime recently, and more aggressively as well. Then we dumped. Is our bottom in at 30,000? Let's check at what needs to take place. So hopefully the tone of the videos the past couple of days talking about taking some profits, changing your life if it's up at those levels, sunk in, and some people were able to take some off the table up around 40,000. Certainly a great opportunity for reloading cheaper on the dump. So it is a massive pullback. Anybody who's been trading crypto knows that this is how it goes. It goes from complete euphoria to fear. This is the way markets go. And I find it interesting that Bitcoin's topping out. Tesla had a bit of a euphoric top as well on its daily time frame. I'm watching Tesla for a gap down open tomorrow. So a bit of similarities as far as euphoria is concerned and temporary tops being hit. Are we still in a daily uptrend? Yes. Anything above 27,678 is a daily high or low. There's still a possibility even that the bulls could close above the daily EMA 12. I don't really care about that as much. I'm now watching the shorter term time frames. At least on Coinbase, highest 12-hour dollar volume ever. It's a big old bullish reversal candle, but there are still some cautionary things to be watching for. Number one, could this be a head and shoulders? Yes, absolutely. Let's go bull side and then bear side as far as the current setup. So we had a base of support established down at 30,000, and myself and a lot of traders were watching for a break of 30,000 to potentially lead to a flush, and that's where I was going to go aggressive. So I was making some entries on the way down and ended up with an average of about 35,000, and then we started trading within a range of 30,000 to 33. And I said, all right, if we break 30, I'm going real aggressive. 29, 28, 27, 26, I'll go all in if we're going to dump down into the mid to low 20s. So I stayed patient. We didn't see that bear break. And the longer we traded within this range and the more coins that traded within this range, the more confident we got that that $30,000 level was going to hold at least temporarily. And the level that I was watching was 33,800. Look at this range and look at how many coins traded there. And you scroll back and that is a massive amount. And then you go back to the way up. And on the way up, we topped out at 33. We bounced off of 30. There's just been a massive amount of volume between 30 and 33. And the bulls would love if that could become a long-term support base. On this current bounce, we then had the hourly higher low and higher high, and we had a real nice tightening 5-minute equilibrium that broke bullish. And that bull break occurred right here at 32,180. And then followed through with a nice $2,000 of upside. So what would be a red flag? Well, we just confirmed an hourly trend change for the first time on this entire pullback from 40,000. If that's as much follow through as we see, if that is our high of 34,500, absolutely a red flag. We would zoom out, and there is a potential that that is a 4-hour bear flag. Size of the retracement here from that high to where we pulled back, it's only a 38.2 retracement. If that were the top, that would be a potential bear flag and a red flag. 15-minute time frame is looking for a higher low right now, so it was a little bit extended. Declining bear volume is a good sign. Bulls want to back test, hold the EMA, and see continuation. If we do not see follow through on this move up to that 4-hour EMA 12, which is in the mid 35,500, if we don't get to that level, it's a short-term red flag for me that's going to keep me cautious, and it's going to keep me with a bunch of cash for a potential flush of 30,000. It's a possibility, not saying it's a probability, not saying that's the most likely scenario. We have to see how things develop. We need a 15-minute higher low and higher high. Bulls want to see follow through, because this is not enough. Bigger picture, weekly time frame, RSI finally cooling off, but we have not even started weekly consolidation. The number one thing to keep in your mind when you're playing bounces in cryptocurrency is it can always go lower. And that ensures that you don't scale in too soon and you run out of cash. And next thing you know, you're sick to your stomach because you're at complete mercy of the numbers in cyberspace, completely out of control of the trade. As long as you have cash, you have maneuverability for staying in the trade and staying in control. And these bounces, even though they were early, we bounced 12, 13% multiple times. So let's say I scale in at 35,000 and then we bounce. If I just sit there and hold through it, next thing you know, I'm underwater 15%. If I sell half into hourly EMA 12 resistance, then rebuy a little bit on a fresh low, sell half at EMA 12-hour resistance, rebuy on a fresh low. That's how you stay in control of a dump. And eventually, when the bounce does finally take place with follow-through, you end up having a fairly good position if you do a good job of exiting partial positions and rebuying cheaper. So we'll keep an eye out for those red flags. If we do see the bulls follow through enough and get up to that EMA resistance, we will then scout a 4-hour higher low compared to 30,000. We're playing the zoom out game in the opposite direction. We had to change the 5-minute trend. We had to change the 15-minute. We just changed the hourly. And if we're going to see further follow through for the next couple days, we need to then see a 4-hour confirmed trend change. Then we would zoom out and we would scout a 12-hour lower high. Then we need a 12-hour trend change. So just one time frame at a time playing the zoom out game. And at this point, I am personally sitting in a comfortable core. What I did do is those positions obviously under 30,000 didn't fill. And I attempted to make an entry on a 15-minute higher low here for this potential bull flag, thinking we might break resistance then. I got stopped out, keeping my risk tight. But as soon as we broke 33,600, I market bought all the cash that I didn't have already allocated to positions and then just treated it as a day trade and scaled out into the strength from there. So a solid little win. And at this point, I'm just remaining comfortable, and I'm comfortable because I have a lot of cash ready for any further downside. If we do get 4-hour bounce follow through, I will scale in a couple positions for that higher low. If the follow through is significant enough that I determine the 4-hour higher low is then the most likely scenario. And again, I want to see upper 35,000 if that's going to be the case. Otherwise, I'm very comfortable. I've done a really good job protecting against this pullback with my core swing position. We ended up just visualizing what happened. This is demand outweighing supply. 4-hour went sideways and the altcoin bulls showed up. That's when supply and demand were pretty much equivalent. And then we rolled over when the scales tilted and supply of coins then outweighed demand. So demand, supply. From here, best case scenario for the altcoin bulls is see Bitcoin 12-hour equilibrium. See bounce follow through, set a 12-hour lower high, then a 12-hour higher low all week. Just trade sideways and see this Bitcoin dominance chart break bearish. It's a standard equilibrium like any coin would have on its chart. This has to break bearish to confirm a daily downtrend, in which instance we would then zoom out and our weekly consolidation would be further underway. Keeping in mind it already is underway with just that daily equilibrium. How this daily equilibrium breaks is going to determine a lot. Is it altcoin season or does Bitcoin dominance continue to steal the spotlight? What was notable is on that bull break for Bitcoin just now, the dominance went up. There's been a couple notable shifts. The first was when Bitcoin started dropping at the top of this move yesterday, the alts were not dropping as fast. This dominance chart was going down while Bitcoin was dumping. Normally, the altcoins will drop faster than Bitcoin. They didn't this time around. Then when Bitcoin just saw this bull break take place just now, trying for 15-minute continuation. Again, healthy little bull flag. Need more follow through. But on this move up, the dominance chart went up, showing us the attention is on Bitcoin still. So daily equilibrium on the dominance chart, keeping a close eye on it. So Ethereum rolling over, and this is a perfect example of stop losses. Over the weekend, one of my really aggressive trades was playing this equilibrium breaking bullish, and I was all in again on this bull break. My target was all-time highs. If I didn't use a stop loss, my target was not hit, I would be in such a world of hurt right now. I would give back so much of last year's profit of 2020, but scaled out into some of the strength and then stopped out on the rest when 1240 broke and ended up, instead of being a huge win, ended up being a really solid win. And again, just locking in those gains and being stopped out, what does that do? It gives me a bunch of cash to buy this dip on. So ETH is in a similar boat. The hourly time frame just changed the trend. So we zoom out, we scout a 4-hour lower high. EMA 12 resistance is above 1100 right now. Anything under 1148 is just a 4-hour lower high. And the bulls need enough bounce follow through overnight to be scouting a higher low once we top out to try and set up the 4-hour trend change. ETH BTC is in a daily equilibrium, the same as the dominance chart. So you could just watch one or the other. I would prefer the ETH BTC if I'm focused on Ethereum. If this breaks bearish, it's all Bitcoin again. And that would just be weekly consolidation to look for a higher low. So we're still seeing Bitcoin keep this dominance as long as these charts are remaining range bound. LTC, big dump. So let's go back to Ethereum here. Where's our daily support? We didn't have anything nearby, and that's why we dump so fast. The harder you go up and the less support you establish on the way up, the faster and harder you're going to dump on the way down. I could show you 100 stock charts right now where stocks do the exact same thing. Yes, it's more extreme in crypto, but stocks do it all the time as well. Look at Snow. 429 down to 303. Look at LAZR. 47 to 22. Straight up, straight down, equilibrium. It happens all over the place. So is weekly consolidation underway for ETH/USD? Nope, inside bars. These inside bars would have to break bearish for us to zoom out and then be scouting weekly higher lows. So LTC/USD, massive pullback. One red day, giving back weeks and weeks of bullish action. The weekly time frame is consolidating. Nice bounce right off that EMA 12. But just the fact that we broke the low of last week shows us a bear break. Remember that base of support that we were watching, the must-hold level? We broke bearish, and the LTC-BTC chart just hit the low of multiple years. Back to square one. LTC, weaker than Bitcoin. Monthly bear flag, confirming on the verge of need follow-through for it to significantly confirm. It's a double bottom at the moment. It's still a very weak chart. Litecoin had a brief moment for a time to shine here. Pretty much just 1 or 2 days at a time, and now no longer the case. YFI BTC is one I want to highlight because its daily chart is notable. The bull volume was notable. The consolidation is still healthy. And most notably, it's a weekly higher low here. So low, high, higher low. And let's see if we get bull follow through on this daily uptrend before scouting a lower high compared to 167. But just the fact that we have a support level nearby, we are looking for a daily higher low. I scaled through before doing this video and just looked at a bunch of Bitcoin pairings, and there's nothing really standing out right now. So there's nothing that's gaining my attention as saying, look, this altcoin is stronger than Bitcoin. There's definitely going to be some out there, but there's not many, which is why it stays the Bitcoin show as long as that is the case. But I do like the weekly support on YFI BTC, and if this daily uptrend can keep going, then that will keep YFI USD favorable for the bulls. Although at this point, certainly expecting an equilibrium with the amount of range established on the move up and on the pullback. So overall, remain protective, establish your game plan. Could this be our Bitcoin daily higher low? And could we see a recovery back to the all-time high from here? Yes, that's a possibility. You know that I feel the equilibrium is the more likely possibility on the 12-hour if we get more follow-through. Could this be, get ready for this one, could this be our high of 2021? Absolutely possible. And if you do not have that as a potential scenario in your mind as you are establishing your trade game plan, you're setting yourself up to get hurt real bad. I have no idea if this is going to be our top. We could easily see continuation to 50,000. This could just be a shakeout, just a more extreme version of this little shakeout. But you better believe that it would not shock me if we then set a top for a while. So again, just prepare for that possibility. I personally am not giving back any of my 2020 crypto profits. Those are mine now. And I will leave money on the table before I give any of that back. And that is essentially why I remained conservative instead of going real aggressive off of this 30,000 level. So from here, I'll probably shed a little bit of my position for a 4-hour lower high and then look to add on a 4-hour higher low. But as far as getting real aggressive, I do not see a scenario where I will be getting real aggressive in the near term. So I hope you're well. We just confirmed that 15-minute bull flag. So new short-term support is 33,564. Just keep that 15-minute uptrend going until we create as much space as possible for a 4-hour higher low once we top out. Congrats to the dip buyers. For those that did not have capital for dip buying, that's a lesson for next time around. And there's a lot of people who just learned their first lesson in crypto as far as how fast sentiment can shift. Do good things. I'm out of content here, so we're going to go back to Iceland over the next couple of weeks. And we'll kick it off right now.